This video is brought to you by True Tales of Buried Treasure, the largest collection of old treasure magazines in the West. On our website, you can search for individual treasure stories by region, or buy our original magazines themselves. To pay us a visit, please click on the link in the description. Enjoy. Florida has always been a land of secrets, dense forests, storm-tossed coasts, and forgotten pirate coves. Over the centuries, outlaws, pirates, and treasure seekers left behind not only their legends, but also whispers of hidden fortunes that may still lie buried beneath the soil and sand. We'll explore some of Florida's most mysterious treasure tales, from Depression-era gangsters to forgotten outlaw bands, to storm-tossed Spanish shipwrecks, and even the bloody legacy of a pirate admiral who became a legend. In January 1934, federal agents surrounded a small lakeside cottage near Lake Weir in north-central Florida. Inside were Ma Barker and her son Freddie, the last holdouts of the infamous Barker-Karpis gang. The standoff erupted into a blistering gun battle that lasted hours. When the smoke finally cleared, Ma and Freddie lay dead. But the real mystery began after the shooting stopped. Inside the cottage, agents discovered $10,000 in cash, loot from robberies and kidnappings. Yet many believe this was only a fraction of the gang's fortune. The Barker-Karpis gang had pulled in an estimated $3 million from their bloody career. According to Alvin Karpis, the gang's most notorious member, it was common practice to bury money after a crime, keeping it hidden until it could be safely laundered overseas. One famous incident proved how risky that system could be. After the 1934 kidnapping of Edward Bremer in St. Paul, Minnesota, the gang buried $200,000 in a leather sack behind a Cleveland garage. Water seeped into the bag, and when they dug it up, the bills looked like they'd been pulled out of a lake. The gang tried drying the cash with electric fans and smuggled it to Venezuela for laundering. But Karpis later stumbled across some of those same stained bills in Cuba, proof that their carefully hidden money was slipping into circulation, a dangerous mistake that drew federal agents ever closer. Karpis rushed back to Florida to warn the Barkers. Just days later, the FBI struck. The Barkers were dead. Karpis was eventually captured and imprisoned, and Doc Barker would later die in a failed jailbreak. Yet rumors persist that much of their fortune was never recovered. Locals still whisper that caches of outlaw loot remain buried somewhere in the swamps and woods near Lake Weir. Long before Ma Barker, another outlaw haunted Florida's backcountry. In 1784, Spanish officials reported that 60 outlaw families were hiding in the dense forests between the St. Johns and St. Mary's rivers. Their leader was a man named Dan McGirth, fabulously wealthy, strutting in fine shirts, silver buttons, and a fat purse of gold coins. But McGirth had a weakness: women. Spanish soldiers captured him one night in the bed of a young Indian woman, and his fate was sealed. Locked away in the dank, windowless cells of the Castillo de San Marcos in St. Augustine, Florida, McGirth quickly lost his sanity. With their leader gone, the outlaw families scattered, yet the Spanish could never track down the treasures they left behind. Each family had lived independently, caching whatever loot they couldn't carry. Somewhere in those forests may still lie the fortunes of McGirth and his followers, an outlaw treasure trove waiting for discovery. Florida's mysteries don't stop on land. Along the Atlantic coast, storms still revealed the ghosts of Spanish treasure fleets. Underwater hunting within 3 miles of shore is restricted, but after northeast storms, locals know to comb the beaches. Coins from Spanish galleons, pillar dollars, silver cobs, even gold doubloons have turned up after violent seas churn the sands. 7 different wrecks have been identified near Sebastian Inlet alone. Beachcombers and detectorists continue to find scattered coins, proof of a long history of shipwrecks and storms. But treasure hunters beware. Much of this coast falls within protected state parks. Laws shift, and the rules on metal detecting can be complex. For those who know where and when to search, however, Florida's coin beaches remain legendary. Perhaps no tale looms larger in Florida's treasure lore than that of José Gaspar, better known as Gasparia. Once a rising star in the Spanish Navy, Gaspar fell victim to court intrigue and fled to the Gulf Coast. There he became a pirate lord, raiding for over 30 years. Blackbeard lasted only 2 years as a pirate. Gaspar terrorized the Gulf for decades. He and his crew looted hundreds of ships, amassed fortunes in stolen cargo, slaves, and ransom money, and even built their own bases on the barrier islands near modern-day Fort Myers. Gasparilla Island became his personal fortress and home. Captiva Island held female captives awaiting ransom, while Boca Grande was fortified as a pirate stronghold. But in 1821, Gaspar's reign ended. A ship he believed to be a merchant vessel revealed itself as the U.S. Navy's Enterprise. Caught in the ambush, Gaspar wrapped himself in anchor chains and leapt into the sea. His crew was captured and hanged. Though Gaspar was gone, the legends grew. Treasure stories spread before his body even sank. To this day, searchers scour the islands around Fort Myers, hunting for his hidden wealth. A few scattered coins have surfaced, but the vast fortune of Jose Gaspar remains one of Florida's greatest mysteries. From outlaw gangs to pirate admirals, from lost caches to storm-tossed gold, Florida's landscape is layered with treasure tales. Some may be myths. Others may still lie buried beneath the swamps, sands, and seas. One thing is certain: Florida remains a land of hidden fortunes, and the hunt is far from over. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to read the original article or purchase the magazine from which it was taken, please check out our website, truetalesofburiedtreasure.com.